If you'd like to see more of our videos, hit the subscribe button to stay on top of the market news. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today's June 18, 2020. And today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the markets are starting to look like it's summer trading with the volume being much lower and lowering the volatility as well. But first, let's take a look at the economic events of the day. So we really have just one event coming out at 1 p.m. South African time out of United Kingdom. It's an official bank rate decision that's coming out. Should affect the market, so you do want to know what's coming out. Now first, looking at the Forex symbols, the majors pretty much simmered down on lower volume and trading in a very tight range. Okay, so you've got to kind of shift your trading to summer trading as this is actually happening. Now looking at the Dow Jones, it did retrace yesterday. It fell down below 26,000 to 24,800-ish level, 700-ish level this morning. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. And looking at the commodities, pretty much unchanged. Okay, so volume is really light and it's in a very tight range as well. And lastly, looking at the stocks, the FANG stocks still remain on the upper range of their area, and NASDAQ trading just below 10,000 level. So this could be just like summer trading, okay, because which means that there's less volume, a little bit of profit taking, but no major corrections yet. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trade. So we're going to first take a look at the Euro USD at a 1 hour chart, as you can see right here. And you can see that we're pretty much in a very tight range, okay, about a 35 pip range, except for this that we had just a couple of days ago. But altogether, we're in a tight range, okay? We're just trading at 1253 right here, just below its upper limit of 1274, and about 30 pips away from its lower limit of about 1220. So this is altogether in a 50 pip range, okay, which is relatively pretty tight. However, looking at the GBP USD, also it's trading in a tight range just before this official bank rate number coming out. But first, let's take a look at a daily chart just to give us perspective, okay? So we did hit that 127 earlier this week, or really at the beginning of the month, and now we've retraced from it. We're right in the middle of this range. So really nothing jumping out at me, okay? This is all taken into consideration that this official bank rate will hopefully induce some activity into the British economy. Okay, now if we look at the USD ZAR, same story. Okay, really very light trading, just trading at 1717, really in a very tight range. Looking at the CAD, same story. Okay, so it's across the board that the markets are kind of simmering down with lower volume. Jumping into commodities, gold trading at 1728. Yesterday we were at 1726. Okay, so you can't get more tight than that. Okay, looking at oil as well, trading at 37.60, which we were pretty much in that range yesterday as well. So like I said, the markets are relatively in a tight range, so I don't expect it to really just massively change its formation at these levels. Now looking at the Dow Jones, we're first looking at a 4 hour chart. So this has been kind of difficult to trade because initially we hit this double top here, okay, even though you can see that we had a candle, but pretty much anywhere above this moving average of the 200 moving average, which is the yellow line right there, was overbought, and that's exactly what happened. A beautiful Fibonacci retracement coincides with that, and we took a little bit of a turn downwards, altogether about 600 to 700 points as we capitulated at 592-ish level. Now we're bouncing, okay, so we do have resistance at this 25,972. Surely at 26,000 we have resistance. So something to consider going to today's trading, okay, if the markets decides to sell off. Now looking at the markets altogether, looking at the NASDAQ, we're still relatively strong here. Looking at a 4 hour chart, we didn't sell off massively, but we're selling off, okay? So this could be a location where this is like a double top. Now looking at the stocks, Apple, still very close to its all-time highs, okay? It's relatively right there. 354, its all-time highs. We're only about 3 points away from it. But again, it does look like it's forming a double top. Amazon didn't make it that high. Okay, let's look at Amazon. Also at 2640-ish level. Okay, also looking like it's making a double high on a 4 hour chart, but on a daily chart, it's not there. Okay, 2665 is that double chart. Now looking at Microsoft, also the top of the range, but not breaking higher. So does it look like a double top? It's starting to, okay? Facebook is the same story. So I don't want to celebrate this too soon because this is really the top of the stocks. The stocks have really been very strong, especially in the tech sector. Okay, so something to consider. I would focus on the tech sector to see if they do get stronger today, maybe possibly pushing higher, possibly Apple pushing higher. That could always happen. So you got to take these into consideration. I don't like to short the top of something that's really been very strong historically until it proves to me that it's changing character and becoming softer, and then I expect the rest of the markets to sell off as well. Now looking at JP Morgan, it's been relatively weak, okay? Trading at 99.64, you see that much greater correction on the downside than, for example, Amazon and Apple and Microsoft, okay? So the old school type of stocks are still relatively weak compared to the rest of the markets. It's something to consider into today's trading. Wishing you a great trading day. This is Fred Razak. Thank you.